Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2020-2021 Curriculum Night. My name is Mr. Schrock, and your students are taking chemistry with me this year. I'm really excited to have them. I've met most of them that have already been in class, if not all of them, and it's been great so far. So really glad, really excited to be in the classroom with your students and building those relationships and really starting to do some chemistry. So I just wanted to say, first off, thank you for all that you've done, getting your students ready to be back in the classroom, and I'm really glad that they're here. And so far, it's been a good start to the year. So hopefully, we can keep that rolling. Again, my name is Brendan Schrock. This is my second year teaching, my second year teaching chemistry as well. I am a recent graduate of Kent State University, and originally from Northeast Ohio. And then a little bit more about me. I also am the wide receivers coach here for Berlin, as well as the freshman coach for baseball. So pretty busy, but chemistry is something that I love. It's what I wanted to teach. So I'm really lucky to be here and really lucky to have your students in class. So for tonight, what I figured I would do is I'll just go through the syllabus, kind of show you around the Schoology page, give you contact information, all that kind of stuff. And then, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me using, my email or my work phone as well. So first off, on the syllabus, I always put my mission. I feel like it's important for everyone to understand my mission as a teacher. So my mission is to create a positive learning environment that allows students to feel comfortable and confident. Maximum learning for every student will be obtained through rigorous classwork, group work, labs, tests, and quizzes. Now, this year, due to the face masks that everyone has to wear, labs will probably look a little bit different. Your students will probably not necessarily be able to do labs in person. Rather, it's going to be me either doing a demo or them watching a video of a pre-recorded lab. With the masks that your students have to wear, they are flammable, and I also don't want any chemicals getting stuck in there, so it's just too big of a risk. So most labs will be done either by me in person or a pre-recorded video of myself doing it, and your students will watch that at home. Tests, quizzes, classwork, most of that stuff is going to be done virtually or with a computer. So if you are able to bring your own device, I highly recommend. If not, there should be ways that we can get a device for your student. Student expectations, I have 5 of them. Be active. My classroom is very student-centered, so I really don't like to stand up here and just kind of lecture and have students look back at me. I want students to foster their own learning. So when your students are here, they'll be spaced out, socially distanced. I'm looking at them right now. I have blue X's on tables, that are 6 feet apart. So your students will be here, and they'll be working out loud most of the time. That's how I like it to work, and we've already started to do that so far. Number 2, be on time. I'm going to be lenient with this year just because of the way that the building is set up. We have specific arrows that allow students to only go one way in the building. So if a student is all the way down at one end and they have to walk a specific way to get to my room, I'll be lenient with that. But still, being on time is big. Be respectful. Students should treat everyone in the classroom with the utmost respect. I'll treat all students with the utmost respect. So just having a very respectful classroom, I believe, is good for everyone in it. I believe that a lot of learning happens when everyone is being respectful. Number 4 is probably the most important one, and that's be curious. I encourage students to ask questions no matter what. Whether I say something, because I'm not perfect, if I say something that doesn't make too much sense, or I have a typo or something just doesn't check out right away, ask questions. I like a classroom where there's a lot of talking about the subject. So ask questions, go the extra mile, all that kind of stuff. Encourage your students to ask as many questions as possible. And then number 5, be a bear. We take great pride, obviously, here being at Olentangy Berlin. So with that is high expectations. All that stuff kind of just culminated into one, be a bear. My contact information is on the screen now. So my email is brendan_schrock@olsd.us. That phone number with that extension goes right to my phone that's sitting here on my desk. So if you ever need anything, please email or call. I'm off. Well, I should say I'm off, but I have collaboration first period and I have a planning period second. The first 2 periods of the day, I am free. for any communication. In regards to communication, I believe that communication is important, especially with the hybrid situation that we're in now. So I will check my email regularly and try to get to emails within 24 hours during the week. If it's on the weekend, that'll be a little bit more lax. I'll probably get back to you on Monday. But throughout the week, give me a 24-hour max, and I'll respond to your emails as quickly as I can. The content for this year, there will be 10 units. We're already in Unit 1. We just started that this week. Each unit is comprised of one unit test. So after everything that we've gone through for the unit, students will be tested on that at the end. There are also lab checks and lab quizzes, which we'll get into when I go to the grade breakdown. But there's plenty of time for your students to come and ask questions, do review, in-class work, and then this year in-class work also includes hybrid work. So plenty of work for your students to be ready for your unit tests. So materials in order to succeed, students will need to bring the following: obviously a pen or a pencil, their own personal paper. This year, a mini whiteboard would be huge. If you can get a mini whiteboard, that would be perfect. So normally, in a regular year, I have big whiteboards that students kind of gather around together and use in small groups. Obviously, that can't be the case this year. So having a mini whiteboard will allow students to be able to work together from farther apart. And if they have questions, they can just hold it up and I can read it. So a mini whiteboard would be a great addition to have. Scientific calculator would be perfect. If you have a graphing calculator, that's fine as well, but a scientific would work just fine. Headphones for video. So these are not required, but let's say your student, my lights just turned off in my room. Let's say your student finishes, so headphones for videos, let's say your student finishes all the work in class, and they know that they have a virtual assignment that's due. They're able to throw those headphones into their phone or computer or device and start working on that. So those aren't required, but just something nice to have. Their own expo markers so they can work on the whiteboard, and then a notebook or like a 1-inch binder just to keep everything together and be nice and neat. So the grading policy for this year will look just like this. This is how I did it last year. So homework and classwork. Classwork also includes their virtual work. It'll be 15% of their grade. Labs and projects will be 30%. Tests and quizzes are 45%. And then class participation is 10%. You'll see on their learning checks are 0%. So what I do is once we get halfway through, or maybe every third of the way through a unit, I'll give a learning check. And it's basically exactly how it sounds. So I'll give students, in past years, it'd be a piece of paper. This year, it'll be probably a digital assessment, but it's a free assessment. It doesn't cost anything towards their grading. It's just to see how they're doing, where they're at with the content. So I continue to still do those. I think they're great for the students. And so that breakdown is for the quarter. And then as you can see for the semester, pretty similar throughout the building. So quarter 1 and quarter 2 final grades are 20%. And then the semester exam will be 10%. All that goes into being their final grade. So I'll hit on these real fast. Like I said, homework and classwork is 15%. I'll grade homeworks on a 2-1-0 scale. So 2 points if they do it, turned in on time. 1 point if it's late, but turned within 24 hours and everything is done. Half a point if it's turned in on time or within 24 hours, but it's incomplete. No points if it's late after 24 hours. I will not accept it. Labs and projects. So like I said, your students won't necessarily be able to do hands-on activities until, COVID restrictions are off. So for this year, we're going to do a pre-lab still. They'll do a pre-lab. Pear Deck is really cool. It's a Google Slides extension where they can get on and interact with questions, and then I can see and provide feedback. So those have to be done before they watch the lab. That's 10 points. And then having their lab paper, a picture of their lab paper turned in before class starts, will be a part of that 10-point combo as well. And then lab quizzes. So after every lab, we have a discussion. After that discussion, we have a lab quiz. Those are anywhere within 5 to 10 points, depending on how many questions. Tests and quizzes. So tests and quizzes will be 45% of the student's total grade. Each unit, like I said, will consist of lab quizzes, checkpoint quizzes, all that stuff. So there's plenty of material for your students to learn from, as well as my off time to come ask questions. And then, like I said, those are 45% of the grade, 1 unit test for each unit. Class participation. So class participation, that will take up 10% of the student's grade. Basically, the way that works is the student is already given those points. They can only lose them by not participating. So not being actively participating in discussions or small groups. And that doesn't necessarily mean they have to be talking, but making sure that they're there, writing stuff down, taking in the info, all that stuff. If they're just sitting there on their phone or kind of, not working on things, that's how they could lose those points. Academic honesty, just don't cheat. If I find cheating in any way, that'll be dealt with. And then these are our general procedures. So students have already talked about this. The really cool thing this year with the hall passes, we're doing a QR code. So on my door, there's a QR code. They scan it with their phone, and then on their phone pops up their hall pass. So if they're absent, they need to just talk to me, and we'll get that situated. So real quick, I'll just show you the Schoology page. So this is what it looks like. It's the chemistry page. All of the unit folders are up. Not necessarily everything is in them, but the unit folders are up. And then over here, let me move myself. Over here on the right, I'll try and keep this updated as best as possible. So this is the calendar, which shows your students what needs to be turned in or what is to be done that day. I will always put the class that is in person first, and then I'll put a backslash, and then the class that is virtual, we'll say virtual and what they need to do. So thank you for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out via email or phone. Again, I will show you my contact information here. It is Brendan_Schrock at olsd.us. And then my phone number, my work phone, 740-657-5900, extension 3978. Thank you guys very much. Stay safe and claws out.